Another day, another Siren video. I think this is like the 6th or 7th video I make on her. Hey, we gotta milk the topics, alright? We gotta milk those topics. Now, we're gonna be talking a little bit about the tier list, her build, her placement, why she's there, and a little bit of team compositions for you guys. So, as usual, before we start, thank you to all my patrons for making this content possible. Love you all bastards. And you can join them with the links in the description down below. So, hello the internets. Welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today's topic, Little Mermaid, aka Siren, where she's on the tier list, why she is there, how to build her, possible alternatives, team compositions, etc. So let's get started with this. And let's jump directly into the tier list if you guys want. Honestly, I don't think there's any doubts as to why she is the T0 character, the current meta. She is probably one of the, if not the best B1 in the game. Right now there is Rapid Red Hood and then there is Little Mermaid. Both of them are the best B1s in the game, not only for the rotations, but also because they are providing something the other B1s don't provide. If we go to B1s, just B1s on the tier list, right? And let me put this in here so you guys can see it better. If we go to B1s, the majority of them don't have good damage. Ignore Red Hood, because we use it as a B3, right? Ignore Red Hood. All of them are pure supports. The only one that we had, and that was on the 0.6 anniversary, sorry, on the 0.5, on our first anniversary or half, was Dono. She was the first character we got that was a B1 with CDR that actually was doing damage. By today's standards, her damage is not that good. But now you have Rapid Red Hood and you also have Little Mermaid. Two characters that will do more damage than most actual DPSs in the game. And that's why they are so good. They are setting a new standard of burst 1 characters. Not only their cooldown reduction, it's better because they are providing 7.48 seconds rather than 5 or 6 depending on the character, right? With Litter, Volume and the other characters. They're also better than Tickler, Wife and Rogue because it's not at the specific intervals. It's not you need to shoot at specific times. It's directly when the full burst ends, you get your cooldown, right? They're also giving you more burst generation and then with their own damage, that makes them like the newest standard, like I was saying, right? I have added a couple flags for Little Mermaid, as you guys can see. The first one is the manual play. I think it's important that you manual her for the focus fire. That is the best mechanic that we've gotten in a while, right? And then of course I also added the pairing flag for machine gun units. You don't need machine guns, but then her damage will go down. If we're talking just purely about her cooldown reduction, right, and her utility as a B1 with the damage taken, the attack buff, etc., you don't need machine guns. But of course, you're going to be losing a lot of damage. It also is important because most or a lot of the meta characters we have right now are actually machine guns. You have your Crown, you have your Rapid Red Hood, you even could be running with the maids as well if you want. So there is a lot of characters that are meta, but I think it's important to actually add that flag specifically. So that's it about why she is T0. Let's go a little bit over her skills, how to build her, recommendations on overload, etc. When it comes to her skill, it's pretty simple, okay? You should be going 10, 10, 10, but if you are kind of low on materials, for any reason, skill 1 can be left at level 8, just like the other cooldown reduction characters. And skill 2 and burst, I would go to 10, but you can start at 7 and then build your way up to there. When we're talking about her own damage, it's coming mostly from, of course, the skill 2 and her burst. And when we're talking about utility, it's a skill 1 and a skill 2. A skill 1 will give you the focus fire. For those of you who don't know, when you are controlling Siren, you can control the whole team. This was not working with SBS and A2, but it was quickly patched out by Shift Up the next day, yesterday. So in that regard, I would be going at least 8, 10, 10. Sadly, this is an expensive character, but considering how strong she is, I think it's worth it. When it comes to utility, some people were saying she was going to be weak in terms of buff, in terms of what she can provide as a support character. But 15% attack damage in total, plus damage taken debuff at 5% because one of them is going away. It's enough that she will actually be providing more damage, putting her on the team overall than running any other support or B1 outside of Rapid Red Hood right now, right? Of course, if you have a Pierce team, you want to be running the Killer Wife. If you have a max HP team, you want to be running Rogue, right? You can benefit more from those characters. But Little Mermaid can be placed on any composition, no problem. 8, 10, 10 for the skills is what I would be going. Fully invest into her, and now you should have enough resources thanks to the new Road to Villain event, the Drake event is from right here. You should have more than enough resources to fully build her, no issues. So get her up, if you haven't pulled a copy yet, of course you should be pulling at least one copy. You do not need dupes, and we can talk about dupes before we move into the gear and the cube. When it comes to dupes, the only thing you're gonna be getting is a better burst. It's gonna be more damage for herself, which is good because she's a hybrid DPS support, but it's not necessary. If you're a new player, if you're low on resources, we need to pull for another 1% banner, and the next month, sorry, not in May, in June, we also have the Stellar Blade collaboration. So I can't really recommend going for dupes unless you are a spender. If you're a spender, go MLB, absolutely. That's it about dupes and skills. Let's talk a little bit about the gear. Her gear is pretty simple, just like most DPSs in the game, right? You want to go max ammo, elemental, and attack. Elemental takes priority, attack and max ammo afterwards. You can go for crit and hit rate as filler lines. When it comes to her max ammunition, this is important. If you get at least 3 lines of max ammo, I've only gotten 1 sadly. If you get 3 lines, she will have enough ammunition in between rotations, thanks to her burst, reloads 33% magazine, to basically almost never stop shooting with 3 lines of max ammo, right? So the gear, level 10 skill, and also running the Bastion cube. And we can talk about the cube now, which is of course going to be Bastion, the best one you can be running. If you don't have enough max ammunition capacity, you could be running Resilience instead, and you could also be running the Wingman cube. It's personally not my favorite, and I don't have it leveled up, only level 7, but it's still extra ammunition that will help her a lot. That's it about the build and the dupes. Let's talk a little bit about team composition, but it's gonna be super fast because this is a character you can put anywhere. Now, she will benefit from having, of course, a machine gun or 2 on the team. Right now, the most recommended team for anyone is going to be these 3 characters, right? Crown, Little Mermaid, and Helm. The other 2 spots are going to be for your main DPSs depending on what you have. For me, that's going to be SBS and Rapid Red Hood, and I'm bursting with SBS and Helm. But she can be placed on any team. You could be replacing these with the maids instead, if that's what you're looking for, right? If you want to be running Siren and you want to be running the maids, you can also run this. It will work perfectly fine because you still have at least 2 machine guns. With only 1 machine gun in the team, her own damage is already pretty good. But I would recommend trying to get 2. I don't think you need more than 2 machine guns on the team. I'm gonna be honest. Of course, it is going to be benefiting her if you can get at least 2 machine guns. But 1 is already good enough for her, for the burst generation, and for her own damage. That's it about the team compositions, like I was saying, like you can put her on any team and she will work. Because the most important part as a support is the focus fire and the utility she's providing with the damage taken plus the attack damage. Her own damage will depend on how many machine guns you have in there. Last thing I want to talk about is the pros and the cons for this character. Mostly the pros because if I'm honest with you guys, the only con, okay, that I can think right now, and like I was saying yesterday, we'll talk about this at some point, is the power creep she's bringing into the game. Like literally, this is something is not being talked about enough because this has been a really good update so far. But the power creep she has is disgusting. Simple, okay? It's disgusting. It's really, really, really strong. So let's talk about the pros instead. First of all, the cooldown reduction plus her extra burst relation makes it so she has the best rotations in the game, because even though it's the same as Rapid Red Hood is not providing that extra burst relation. Second is that the focus fire is a broken mechanics. Guys, this will allow you to bypass so much shit. Be it boss mechanics, QTEs, annoying projectiles. There is so many things you can bypass with this focus fire. And remember that the new boss, Gluttony, has a moving QTE. So unless you can burst or have something like the focus fire, you might not be able to be breaking this new type of QTEs they're bringing into the game, which 100% they will keep making them more annoying, so you are forced to use characters like Little Mermaid. As she's a supporter character, but is doing more damage than most burst 3 DPS girls right now, even without multiple machine guns. It's also important to point that out. And then lastly, and I said this at the beginning of the video, but this is the new standard for what a good burst 1 character is. 100%. It is. We're seeing a shift on B1s and what makes a good B1 in contrast to literally 6 months ago, a year ago, right? And this only will get worse over time because shift up tends to power creep at least once a year. We are seeing an increase on what means to be at the top on any tier list, right? And they will someday power creep her and Crown, and I cannot wait to see what stupid characters they make. That's gonna be a fun one. That's it though. I think that's everything I'm gonna be talking about today about Siren and the tier list and how to build her. Honestly, you should be pulling for her. but don't go crazy. Don't be like me, please. Okay, save some gems for Mihara to see what's going on with her and if she's gonna be worth pulling or not. I will talk about Mori tomorrow and show you guys a fully built Mori and some tests, but sadly, she's no bueno. Let's say she's just no good, at least for now. Just like most welfare characters, it's not really worth investing in her. That said, that's gonna be for this video. As usual, thank you, bastard, for watching my content. We're gonna be live later. You guys have the links in the description down below. So I will see you there. Good luck with your pool, the rates. I'll see you in the next one.